like to dance alone to the beat of the rebel revolution. Cause when the heat is on and the wind is still.
Let me tell you about competitive people and people that are always looking over your shoulder to see what you're doing and how you're doing it. You know, no one was talking about buying a car, no one was thinking about buying a car, and suddenly you buy a car and everyone now has a car. You know, no one was talking about buying a house and now you buy a house and everyone now is scrambling to buy a house. You know, no one was talking about, oh, I want to study further, and now you get your doctorate or you get your master's or you finish your honors or whatever studies you finish, and suddenly people are scrambling now to register and do and further their studies when they were never talking about it. You know, you take yourself on a trip, you know, you plan a trip and you take yourself on a trip, and people find out so and so went on a trip, and suddenly everyone now is scrambling to go on a trip and put it on the gram and put it on social medias platforms. Competitive people and people are always watching over your shoulder to see what you're doing. They can wear you out, but don't be wary of them, because it only tells you that you are a leader and that they're followers, and that you're an innovator, and that these are people who make copies of what you do. And there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, you've inspired me to do this by having seen you done this, and so I'm going ahead and doing this too. People who are competitive will never come back to you and say to you, the reason I'm doing this is because I saw you do this and it inspired me so much and it encouraged me so much, I did it. A competitive person, and even if they do, you can always discern a competitive spirit. So I just want to tell you that don't despair, don't be wary, don't get tired when every time you do something for yourself, just minding your own business, being creative and innovative and just doing things in your own life, people start to now scramble and do things. It only tells you and assures you of one thing in particular. It tells you that you are a leader, and that you have leadership qualities inside of you, that people are looking to you, they're looking over your shoulders, they're looking to your life to find out what to do next, to find out what moves to make next, what is the next sensible thing to do. They're looking to your life. So you are a leader and you're not a follower. So don't despair about competitive people and people that are always looking over your shoulder trying to figure out how you did the things that you did and what you're doing. Don't be discouraged. Know that this tells me that I'm a leader. This tells me that people are looking at my life and they're inspired by my life. Although they won't admit it, and some will begrudgingly admit it, or in passing admit it, or in a downplaying it way admit it, they're actually looking at my life and they're following what I'm doing because they see that the steps that I take are sensible steps, are wise steps, are steps that translate to progress, that translate to a better life. And so they're looking to you, and you have this thing inside of you, a compass. They're looking for a compass, and you have a compass within you that you have learned and you have grown to trust, and you go by that compass that leads you. And they don't have a compass, or their compass they've not learned to go by, and so they're looking to your compass to be led into the things that they need to be doing, into the next chapters of their lives. You know, you got married and suddenly everybody's done to get married. It's not that people shouldn't get married. You bought a car and suddenly people bought houses. It's not that people shouldn't buy houses, but there's that competitive spirit that rises up in people's flesh that makes them compete instead of giving proper props and saying, you know what? That really inspires me to buy a car. I never thought of buying a car until you guys bought a car. And that really encourages me to channel my money differently instead of going out every Friday and spending my money on liquor and eating, that I could actually be saving for a car. Thank you for that. That really helps me. That helps me kind of figure out life. It helps me kind of straighten my mind and my priorities. A competitive person will if they do this, if they come back to you and say it's because of you that I'm doing this, they'll do it begrudgingly. They won't just give you proper thanks. As leaders, we're not doing things to be thanked, but a hater and a competitor is a kind of person who is following what you're doing, is imitating what you're doing and trying to emulate what you're doing, but they're not coming to you and saying, the reason I'm doing this is because I saw you do it and it inspired me so much to do it too. You know, it's not that when we do things as leaders, we don't want other people to do them. Absolutely not. But just know that the word for today is just know that when people are competitive and they're always looking over your shoulders, don't get tired of that. Just be assured and be affirmed in the knowledge that, oh, I'm a leader and I have a leadership spirit. And inside of me, there's this compass in me that allows me to make decisions without first looking at what everyone else is doing before going ahead full speed and doing what I would like to do, what is in my heart, what I desire to do. So don't despair when people compete with you. Don't despair when you do something and suddenly people who are not even thinking about doing that thing are now scrambling to do it. Just know that you're a leader and that's why they're competing with you. Focus on then nurturing that leadership spirit. Don't perform for competitors. Only do what resonates with you. Only do what you have planned out carefully to do and is your desire to do. Don't perform for your competitors. I just came here to tell you that you're a leader and that's why they're competing with you. You're a leader, that's why they're jealous of you. You're a leader, that's why they're covetous of what you have. Because they didn't think of it up until you did it. They didn't think of it up until you bought it. They didn't think of it up until you took a trip. They didn't think of it. You the leader and they the followers. Be assured in that and begin to accept and nurture your leadership spirit. See you next time. Stay blessed and be blessed. This is msnobuntu. Subscribe, share, like and comment all below.